Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting.
Ha! We're all you need!
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 98. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your hosts today. And with us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, live from the East Coast, he's ready to moderate the next presidential debate, but this time it'll be a game of sabacc. Corellian spike rules, of course. It's Brian Cook. How are you, man?
I will have my finger on the button to mute you after 60 seconds.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
It's hot.
Good. Yeah.
It's hot.
Next up, when he's not busy chroming everything in his garage, he's squashing bugs and spreading liberty throughout the galaxy. It's John Rodriguez. How are you, sir? John?
Sorry, was I muted? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing a joke on me.
You
You decided to go wireless today?
Yeah. I switched up my headphones because we switched up pod services, so I thought I'd give my wireless a go again. So here I am.
Nice.
You can do activities.
Dude, yeah, I like it because I can just get up, like grab a drink without having to put the thing down or whatever. Yeah.
As long as you hit your mute button, dude, that's all good.
Yeah. What?
What? Yeah. Great.
Hmm.
Next up, this is my partner, Burton Guster. It's Raimi Shanaday.
Wow, no code name or nothing. We just went straight for the
Yeah.
that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that if that doesn't give it away for anybody that hasn't already figured it out, then nothing will.
I think, well, there's one more episode,
Okay.
but we'll see. How are you, man?
I'm good. We're actually in the same place at the same time. So this proves that we're not actually the same person.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been a little weird. I am in the city of Los Angeles. We've been doing
Safe.
kind of like,
So,
what would you call it? Like on location work this week
yeah.
for some stuff that's going to be hopefully
Market
coming out.
research.
Market research. There you go.
Mhm.
Production meeting.
Yeah.
Industry stuff. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. And last but not least, Joe Lara. He's not here. He's currently on assignment prepping for our live show in San Diego. He should be with us next week. How's everybody doing?
Good.
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 End of the
How's
week. It's
everybody-
Friday. It feels
It
weird.
is Friday. It doesn't feel like a Friday,
I
Yeah.
know.
does it?
It's been weird. It's been a weird week. We had a lot of stuff happen in the Star Wars world this week.
Hmm.
I shouldn't say a lot, but big things have happened in the Star Wars
Things.
this week.
All kinds of things.
And then we've been busy too, all of us individually, with personal stuff going on. All good, all positive things. But yeah. Anybody watch anything?
I've been so busy. I haven't really been able to watch any TV. I tried to watch something Netflix put in front of me, and it was like one of those made for Netflix movies with Jessica Alba. Some like she was like a BA, like combat. It was rough. I turned it off halfway and turned on Batman because Netflix was also feeding me Batman, and I was like, Batman. I like Batman.
Speaking of Batman, I saw something today. I don't know if this is news or not, but I saw something that confirmed that the that Robert Pattinson would be reprising his role as the Batman in the new Penguin movie that's being worked on.
Oh, that's a
Cool.
show. Isn't that
Or
a show on
Is it a
Max?
show? Is it a
I
show?
think it's a show on Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's whatever I saw. I didn't even.
But that's
whatever
cool.
I saw said he's going to be in it as Batman. So.
He should be, right. I mean, yeah, it's literally the same character from the movie.
So is this Penguin and this Batman? Do they go with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker,
No.
or is that
No,
like
no,
a separate universe or whatever?
So there's a DC canon, kind of like there's an MCU canon. You know, the
Yeah.
MCU is the MCU. So the DC canon right now was the Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher, all them, Aquaman. That was the canon. And then these other movies that were being made at the same time, Joker, this other Batman movie, those are considered Elseworlds. Elseworld.
I was like, Elf?
Elseworld, yeah. So it's an alternate universe that's
Okay.
connected with the canon. But now the canon's up in the air. James Gunn is doing the Superman movie, which is going to be like the rebirth of the canon, because that's what Flash was kind of doing, was scattering the canon and kind of giving it a door, opening the door for them to redo stuff.
Man, that was such a not a good movie.
I liked it. I liked
the Flash movie.
Yeah,
we watched the Flash movie together.
Yeah, we have a
when we
connection.
were in
We have a
Atlanta.
connection with that movie because we watched it in
and
Atlanta.
we had a good time. So
I should say
And
it's an entertaining movie, but it's like it's so hard to get invested. My whole part, it's hard to get invested into it because it's all moot.
right.
Like,
That much is true.
There's no reason to have any.
Although with the way they did the Batman thing in that kind of like really was tongue in cheek, like between it being
Spoiler alert,
Michael Keaton versus at the end with George Clooney.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a real thing or not. They'll probably write in something where like he runs fast again, changes the timeline again, and it goes back to whatever they want it to be now. It's someone new or whatever. I assume. I don't know.
Since we're on the topic of Batman, I'll share a fun story from last night. There's down at our shop east, it was Throttle Thursdays. It's like a motorcycle night, like motorcycles, cars, and they all park downtown and they shut the street down and people are eating, drinking beers and stuff. And a guy came in that had been in our shop a little while ago, and he's a chef for a NASCAR team. So he travels with them on weekends to the races, and he prepares the food, feeds the crew, whatever. He's a big Star Wars guy, loves Star Wars. He had come into the shop and saw the shirt that John has on from Doom Manufacturing. And he was like, those are awesome. And he bought both. He bought Tech and Anakin.
Nice.
So he came in
The best.
because he met Tori, and he came in to say hi and meet me, and we were chatting. And I was telling him about the 501st Legion because we were talking about costume stuff. And he's like, oh, check this out. And he starts showing me pictures of him in a full Batman. In a full, like, who's the last Batman?
Bale?
Bale Batman.
Ben Affleck.
And he was like, oh yeah, he's like sending me showing me pictures of him at like children's hospitals and events and stuff.
Oh, that's dope.
And he's like, oh, if you're ever doing anything, let me know, man. I'll come hang out with you guys, whatever. He's like, I don't have the Batman kit anymore, but like, I'll come help out. I was like, well, let's get you in the Legion, man. Like, let's dress you up in some Star Wars. So yeah, that was a fun thing. And then also for our older listeners, if you know who Ricky Rackman is, MTV VJ from back in the day, Headbangers Ball. John's like, I don't know who that is. Steven, same thing.
I know MTV. I know Headbangers Ball. Ricky Rackman.
He was the dude. He was the dude, like the host of Headbangers Ball.
Okay. If I saw a picture of him, I'd probably recognize him, but I don't know. Yeah.
He lives in our town, and he came in the shop, and he loved the shop, and we talked to him for a long time. He was cool. Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, it was a fun night. A little tired from that still, but it was a good time.
Sick.
But the Batman made me think of that.
I've been watching Copa America, which has been going on. Which is Brazil's actually playing as we record this.
But didn't Argentina lose this week?
No, they won actually.
So, who won
And
the
they're playing
night?
again tomorrow.
Who won the night that they were in Atlanta? Because when I was leaving Atlanta last week,
That was
there
Argentina,
I was
Canada.
seeing all kinds of people that day wearing Argentina shirts.
Yeah. So they played at that Mercedes-Benz
Yeah.
Alliance Arena or
Yeah.
whatever, which I didn't know at the time. You're like, why are there so many people in Argentina shirts? I'm like, I don't know. And then I realized, like, oh, damn, they're playing in Atlanta. That's where you are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a big, it was like a home game for them. There's a lot of
Atlanta.
Argentinians, I guess, in Atlanta. But yeah, I've been watching that. Tomorrow Argentina plays again, so I'll be watching that. And I haven't been watching anything else. I'm trying to think. The
Dude.
Boys. I started watching.
Yeah,
The
I was
Boys.
gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say
got
The
caught
Boys.
up on The Boys.
I'm not caught up. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in to the new season.
It's so good. They're saying that Homelander's performance in last week's episode is gonna like win him an Emmy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I saw people posting stuff about it, but I haven't gotten that far yet, I guess.
I liked the first couple of seasons of that show, but it's a little much for me. Just
It's
boring.
a lot. It's
a lot.
super gory. Yeah.
I like not even the go. I like a little
I think it's like
just
it
some
just
boundaries. You know what I mean?
yeah, it crosses every line essentially.
It's like no holds.
Especially in this new one.
Yeah,
I saw
in the sauna, Steven.
in the sauna. Oh yeah,
He
in the
catches
sauna.
that dude. Yeah.
I saw a clip from the new one, and I was like, "Oof."
There's a lot.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. But yeah.
I've been watching a lot of true crime, cold case files on Netflix because there's a new season. I kind of got into it because my wife is really into true crime stuff.
Oh.
She's like listening to morbid podcast and true crime podcast. At some point, like I got worried because it was like,
Disturbing.
had to like commit murders and get away with it. And I got
trying to figure out how to get rid of you.
Something.
yeah.
How's our
But-
life insurance policy?
But it's pretty good. I prefer watching the cold case files kind of stuff because they actually solve murders, versus like unsolved mysteries. It's not.
Where it's just a story.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then at the
this
end-
happened to this person in the 70s. Anyway,
Right.
next story.
Oh, and we never caught the guy.
Yeah, and they never. Yeah, no resolution.
It's not fulfilling. It's not
Yeah,
There's
fulfilling.
no
He's still-
fulfillment.
He
Yeah.
might be your next door neighbor.
Right.
Yeah, that's the worst part. He lit. Yeah, Los Angeles area. He could still be around. It's like what?
Actually,
Don't tell me that.
I should
Yeah,
probably
like he could be my neighbor.
I think I need to like do an introspective on that because for some reason we watch it right before going to sleep. It's like, yeah, now that I'm talking about it, it's not good.
I mean, it's cool. It's all right. That's cool.
We've been trying to watch Inside Out too and Garfield, but since all the kids are like out of school, every time we try and go and watch it, it's sold out.
It's
So
full
for
of
2
kids,
weeks
damn.
now, yeah.
Yeah, Levi went to Inside Out 2 the other day. She said it was packed with kids.
I haven't really watched anything. I am going through and doing a rewatch of the Clone Wars, actually, kind of a couple episodes at a time here and there. So, in the order that's on StarWars.com. So, like, there was the order that we saw it when it came out, and you could just like watch the movie and then watch the seasons 1, 2, 3, like, and so on. But if you go to StarWars.com, there's actually a sequence that you can. So you watch a couple episodes that are in season 3. And then go watch the movie, and then watch like a couple other, and then.
Oh,
it
is
kinda
that the
settles into a
chronological
normal
order?
rhythm. And it's like a chronological order, yeah. So it's pretty cool. I actually am enjoying this. So
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
'cause that's
I'm
a
a gonna
lot.
die episode in season 3 is supposed to happen.
yes, exactly.
beginning.
That happened before. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they
So-
never explain that. They never say this happened before all the
They
stuff you
didn't.
just watched.
They didn't at the time, but now that we've got access to an official chronology,
Yeah,
it makes sense. So
Could see
and
that
it's
early.
it's cool.
I wonder if that's how they're doing Acolyte and not telling us.
Oof.
no, because they're following each episode.
No, they're just playing the season backwards, and we
It's
don't
like
even
Memento.
know.
Yeah,
Episode 8, they're gonna be like,
Oh, never mind.
be like
it's all Palpatine.
Never
Come
mind.
here,
Um,
Scorn.
But yeah. Well, right on, guys. Well, let's have a good show tonight. Let's get into it. We just have a short news today, some workbench stuff. We'll obviously do our Acolyte review, close out the show with some jokes, and should be a fun one. And with that, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. If you'd like to show your support for the show, pick up an Echo Space Mom shirt. Oh, Space Daddy shirt.
This one says that, but
And some
For the mom.
stickers
And,
at the
and get to it.
dadbatch.com.
A Doom shirt too.
No, you can't get the Doom shirts anymore. Those are
No, we do. I have some larges.
He has
I
a
have
couple.
larges.
Get a
I have larges
Doom.
available.
Get
all right.
both.
Well, get your own podcast.
wow.
I
Wow.
am an official member.
The Luke and Brian show.
If I leave, I'm taking people with me.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I printed some gauntlets, some Jedi Master Soul gauntlets that Commandlian FX modeled up. Printed them, painted them, and a couple of people reached out. They're like, "Yo, can you make me one?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." So I made another set. Now I made another set, and now I'm on a fourth set. They're really cool. They look really cool. And I just got the Yord version of the files, so I'm gonna try to print that soon and work on that.
Are they getting? Whose are the files? Who made the files?
Commandlian effects? Josh.
How are they getting like such accurate like reference?
I
mean,
think
it's
they have a big TV and they pause it at the right moment. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's
Or
just
on
a
their
quick.
computer.
It's just a quick neck turn, real quick.
Yeah, and I saw he posted a still that I think it might have been from one of like the behind the scenes things that's on StarWars.com, and you can see a pretty good view of Yord's, for example.
Right.
So, and
So
once
he
that was
just
out, it
did
was
those.
easy because he already knew what the soul ones looked like, and I knew the
Do you
differences
guys-
for Yord.
Do you guys remember the episode 1 Phantom Menace behind the scenes? They would release those before the movie even came out, like on StarWars.com. It's pretty cool. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Otherwise, it's just been Helldiver armor that I'm pumping out. I have a couple more sets to make for the San Diego Comic-Con deadline. So I have it, everything kind of spaced out.
couple deadlines.
Yeah, so I have the Comic-Con deadline, then the Dragon Con deadline, and then after that, I have a couple more. But yeah, everything's going smoothly. I have 2 more to make before San Diego, and then yeah, that's it. And I pumped out a few shoulders as well, some Mando shoulders, rubber, flexible armor, and yeah, that's it. Oh damn! Speaking of, someone was gonna come pick some up. Uh-oh. Okay, they didn't message me. Cool. Anyway, that's it.
Cool.
Oh, that's me. I've been making some stuff that I don't think I'm supposed to talk about. So I can't talk about that. But I did receive something. Hold on, please.
Oh. This is riveting.
We'll edit it out in post. Hey, look at that!
Oh, what is that?
That is
This is
a Mando
a-
helmet. It's
This
so
is
smooth.
a Gaucho props. Gaucho props?
Gaucho
Helmets?
props.
Mandalorian helmet?
Oh,
from-
wow.
From John.
An Alpha
Yeah.
Ignition original.
Alpha
Yeah.
Ignition original. It's really nice, John. The visor just popped right out. That was
Yeah.
no Dremel needed. I just grabbed it and just and it just
That
popped out.
was, that's the idea. That's the idea.
So
I'm glad that worked out.
Hey man, these things are awesome. I'm so
Thank
stoked
you.
on it.
Hell
So
yeah.
thank you. That's gonna
Hell
go
yeah.
on my Mando, and then Dude, the rubber shoulder bells.
And
Come on.
that's a fail. That's one that didn't work out. But yeah, it's indestructible essentially.
These things
That
are
was a-
sweet. So
Yeah, that was a
I
fail.
haven't had any time to work on them yet, but these are super cool, John. Thank you. I love the helmet too. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. So I'll be working on that sometime soon. Work's busy. Like every week. I think the last 3 months of workbench, I've been like, but my printer is printing now right now. So nothing terribly major to talk about, but just printing some little things.
Slow and steady.
A lot of little things. That's it.
Am I up? Okay, so I think I mentioned I got one of the Bamboo Labs. I didn't get the Carbon X1. It's like the PS. Like what is? It's the other one.
X1.
The X something. It
POS.
It's definitely not a POS. This thing's cool. So it's basically the Carbon. It's the Carbon without the LiDAR sensor bed leveling. I mean, this thing still levels the bed fine. It just doesn't have the LiDAR version of it. I don't know why that's better. So with this, because it's an enclosure, I can get away with printing with like other filaments now, other than just PLA or something simple. So I got some ABS filament, and I had started printing files for a new and improved Rocketeer jetpack. So these,
Nice.
well, and they fit together nice and clean. There's actually two here, and there's another one that's hiding around the corner. They'll actually be like real metal rivets that'll go into all these holes, and I've got different pieces that I'm also so it's a mix of ABS off of the bamboo, and then resin piece, ABS like resin that's coming off of the Jupiter. And so I'm just trying to mix the big pieces that are going to be easy to clean up, that'll better printed in FDM. The more structural things I'm printing in the ABS, and this ABS sands like butter. Like this whole business of like filler primer and putty and all that, none of it. I'm just going to sand it and go. So it's not going to need any of that other stuff.
You heard it here first, folks.
I caught John's attention. So this thing's printing really cool. And then this other thing that I wanted to show off, I got this a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't show it last week because I was traveling and didn't have it with me. But so this thing, it's this tiny little circuit board, and I've got it just plugged into a USB power supply. And this thing, and so there's like a little piezoelectric
Atomizer
thing, and so you get these. It comes with these little. They're like this fibrous cotton stuff, and you soak this in water, and I can put this thing in here, and then when I push the button,
say what it is, because some people are listening.
Yeah, so this thing atomizes the water, and it basically instant vapor. So I can turn it off, and it stops.
So it's like a jetpack.
I can turn it back. So my plan is I'm going to put one of these in each nozzle on my, and this will ultimately go into the Rocketeer pack. Put one of these inside of each one. I can control it from an Arduino with a little relay. I can turn the power on and off to it. And there are solder points on the bottom of the board so that I can override the button and just activate it through the Arduino. And then the Arduino can also control a little NeoPixel ring that I can run like a sort of a cycle of red and orange and yellow colors sort of spinning around that. And because it's got the hole in it, I can put that ring right over this. The smoke will come out the middle, and the LEDs will illuminate the smoke, making it look like fire coming out the bottom of the jet.
So cool.
That looks just like what are they, like a humidifier?
It essentially is, because it's literally just water. So I hooked this thing up. I soaked the thing in water, and I just turned it on and ran it, and just solid with no stopping and just this little stick. It ran for 20 minutes before it dried out. So, and you can get longer ones of these that'll hold more water, and you can even run like a wick from this to a water bottle that could be in the jetpack too, or something like that. And it'll actually wick the water through the wick and into this and keep going even longer. So
or some whiskey, and then I can just stand behind you and just
You can
or that
whiskey vapors.
I mean, the original Rocketeer jetpack in the film, it ran off of alcohol. So why not? Let's go. Let's go.
That's for Dragon Con.
Yeah, that's the Dragon Con special edition version. So, but yeah, this thing's cool. So Rocketeer themes workbench this week. So this will go inside. You saw
Sick.
the beginnings of the tank. So
Is it Rocketeer available to watch? Is it on a streaming anywhere?
it's on Disney
Isn't
Plus.
it Disney? Yeah.
It is?
Disney.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, I got to give that a watch. I haven't watched that movie in years.
Been a
it's so
minute,
good.
yeah.
I like that movie.
What about you, Stevie?
Oh, is it my turn? I have a lot of stuff that I got in the mail finally, but it's not here. So
And you can't talk.
So you don't want to talk about it?
yeah, I'll show it off next week.
Mm.
Let's see. I've been working on a lot of stuff this week. So Rami and I went to Rapid TCT. It's the 3D printing convention in Los Angeles. It's the first time that they've had that here. So it was pretty big deal. All the big names in 3D printing were there. We filmed a lot of stuff that we'll hopefully show off next week. Made a lot of contacts.
Do that for your workbench.
You know, one of the cool things that I don't know if other filament companies do this, but Bamboo gave us one of these for free at the booth. Oh, I'm sorry, I ripped it.
Dude, don't do that. Just pull the one that I already did out. You're killing you.
Sorry, I ripped it. What the heck?
Anyway, it's like like paint swatches. They're filament swatches.
Shut up.
It's literally every filament that they offer. They just
That's
printed
cool.
a 1-inch
blocks?
square, and then every square has a like a QR code on it, or like a
code.
a product code.
That clear one is insane.
Yeah.
It looks like translucent acrylic, but it's printed as well.
Well,
Gotta have a really tuned printer for that, though.
It's just
Yeah.
it's something so simple that that these filament companies can like give out, because like when I buy my filament, I buy like, I don't know, 20 rolls at a time, a dozen rolls at a time, and I don't know necessarily what I'm ordering, so then I just have to go based off of what I've used in the past. But if I had something like this where it's every single color with every single material, I mean, if I'm starting a new project, I could be like, oh, you know what? I love this shade of green, or I love this shade of, or there's like 3 different blacks in here. Like you wouldn't know that like off your computer screen.
Right.
I also think there's a lot of people that want to print in whatever color it's going to be.
That's
And
been a
something like
trend
this is great for
recently.
them. Yeah, and especially with these new printers, like you can get a version of the Bamboo that has a 4-roll switcher in it, and you literally load 4 different kinds of filament in it, and then print it, and it will switch to the next color when it needs to, and then print that, and then switch to another color and go and print that. Like it's
Those are
pretty
awesome.
streamlined now. I mean, we always, for everything we do, it's get chromed or painted black or what, so we just paint it. So it almost doesn't matter what it was printed with, but
It's a cool.
yeah,
It's cool.
but that thing's cool, and those it gives you a good idea of just how clean that thing can print too.
And then I've been working on our San Diego Comic-Con project nonstop. So my garage just looks like a war zone right now, a Star Wars zone.
It's like Waters Junkyard.
Yeah. So I'll be talking about that definitely after Comic-Con. We can do a retrospective on that. And speaking of Comic-Con, guys, next week we're on episode 98.
Yeah.
Next week is episode 99.
Plan
Our
99.
our last episode of season 2, and we're going to be taking a couple weeks off before we head down to San Diego for some fun stuff.
Welcome to Pabu, my home away from home.
Here's your drink and enjoy the reunion.
Steven's playing with all the stuff for the Joker here. Had the cane hand standby. Okay, so we've got a lot of boilerplate stuff. I'm not going to read it this week. We're just going to go through this kind of casually, but we've got a busy week this year for San Diego Comic-Con. So, Comic-Con starts off on Wednesday. What is it? The 24th?
Something.
Wednesday, the 24th of July. And that's preview night. And then starting
24th.
on Thursday, the next day. So Thursday night, we've got, I'm trying to think. So Thursday night, we've got the bash. Yeah. So the 501st, so the Hosnian prom. So it's like a 90s themed prom is kind of the theme that they're going for this year. So they got a bunch of guests coming, including the Flux Capacitors is the band. A DJ. I think they've got like a dance performance crew that's coming in as well. The Dad Batch will be there. We'll be involved with the production in some way, shape, or form, yet to be announced. But there's going to be a bunch of folks there, including Leilani Shu, Daniel Romero, Roy Ross, Chris Bartlett as well. So tickets are on sale. We can get the link to everybody. I don't remember if we have it here as a little banner. We might.
Come on, Steph.
Well, we don't. Oh, so speaking of Steph, Steph's off this week on much deserved R&R. So I'll get the link out to everybody. We'll drop it in the channel on Instagram, and we'll put it in the show notes here. But if you sign up, you can use promo code CT99, and you will get a discounted ticket to the bash, which is open to everybody now.
Nice.
So whether you're a Legion member or not. So tickets are going to sell out, so you're going to want to get on that pretty quick. And you do have to be 21 or older, 18 or older to get in.
It's an adult party.
Yeah. There's a cocktail hour from 6 to 7, and then the event goes from 7 to 11.
You know what's so cool about the 501st Legion bashes is that rather than paying like the convention center to get an autograph, from these celebrities, just think about it. You're paying like what, $50, $100 sometimes to stand in line for a couple hours, get your autograph, which is probably like 30 seconds or less. And then you're just kind of like herded off to the side, right? You could spend less than that, go to Hosnian prom and actually chop it up with these people because they'll be chilling there. You could have a drink with a Jawa from The Mandalorian, I think that's cool.
Yeah. So that is Thursday night.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Friday is Star Wars Day at Comic-Con. It always has been, always is. And I do know that the Star Wars folks are very excited about their booth this year. So they wouldn't give me all of the details, but I do know that it's that they're excited about it. So they're excited for everybody to see it.
Sounds like the Bad Batch has to go over there.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what better for us to remind everybody of now that the Bad Batch is quote unquote over on. We're going to remind them that we're still like the best. So on Friday, we will be in, all 5 of us, the entire Dad Batch will be in our season 1 Bad Batch costumes. I think we're going to make an appearance at the Heroes and Villains booth, which is part of the Lucasfilm Pavilion. So it'll be right there with everything else. And then later in the day, as the day goes on. So I know in room 7AB is the Star Wars room. So that's where like Sideshow and Hasbro and DK Publishing and like all of the Star Wars panels are at. So I know it from 5 to 6, the 501st Legion has a panel in there, right?
Yep. And our very own Joe Lara is going to be on a panelist on there.
On that panel, yeah.
He's busy.
That's right. And then because we'd like to crack the whip on him and keep him busy at all times so that he doesn't start eating everything that he can find, we are going to be in the same room right after that from 6 to 7. The Dad Batch family reunion will be there. And so, again, that's Friday the 26th from 6 to 7 p.m. in room 7AB at the Convention Center. So you can come hang out with the Dad Batch. Bring your weekly workbench. We want to kind of show it off for everybody in the room. I've taking care of all the necessary paperwork. We will be filming that in an official professional capacity. So we'll be able to release that after we won't be able to live stream it. That's one of the rules, but we will be able to release it afterwards. So, and then that same night, after we're done at 7 o'clock, we are walking up the street and we're going to crash Mosh Isley. So
I'm going to kick the door down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure tickets are still available for that. Go to moshisley.com.
They're almost sold out.
Yeah, okay, so
don't
wait.
But by the time we release this, they might already be sold out.
Okay, well then don't wait. Run.
You better.
moshisley.com.
Yeah.
Now get your tickets. And if you missed that one, it's probably not too late to get tickets for 1 month later in Atlanta at DragonCon. Will be another Mosh Isley.
Which we probably be there. Most of us will be there.
There's a chance.
Stevie, you coming? You coming, Stevie?
No, it's just going to be the 4 of you guys. I can't do
Who's
Atlanta
4?
this year.
Is Joe coming?
Joe's
going.
Is he?
I thought Joe's going.
Joe said he'll never come to DragonCon.
Listen. I think the only one that's committed is Raimi. Like
no, Joe's coming.
Fully. I'm gonna do everything in my power because I'm not likely not doing Japan. I'm gonna try to get into everything else I can just to make up for it. So yeah, I will more than likely be there.
I'm a strong yes.
At
least for the night.
Brian and I are going to be there.
Okay.
And if we're not at DragonCon, you can find us at Fox Brothers Barbecue down in DeKalb.
Heyo.
There's other stuff that we have planned for the rest of the year, but I don't know if we can really confirm
just wait.
yet. So
wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so I guess now would be a good time to tell everybody. So yeah, next week, episode 99 is our last episode of this season. Following that, we're going to take a couple weeks off to prep for San Diego Comic-Con's live show, and some exciting season 3 stuff that we have coming for you guys. Yeah, super excited for that.
It's my birthday next episode.
What? It would have been cool if you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was throwing it out there if I didn't show up, but episode 99 is kind of
now you have to.
I'm not going to be able to be on next week's show. I already told you. I'm missing next week. So I'm sorry.
You won't get any.
I don't get to sing happy birthday. I feel like I can sing happy birthday to you.
It's your birthday.
If you guys are watching live on YouTube right now, thank you for hanging out with us tonight on a weird Friday night. Sorry that we're late this week, but throw in some likes. Make sure you like the stream and throw in some super chats in there. We'll make sure those go directly to Brian's birthday gift. That way he can imbibe.
Nice.
And
hey, Steven.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
This is weird with you guys in the same room.
It's weird being in the same room with him for this. Yeah. So he's like literally like a foot away from you. He's like, hey, Raimi. Okay, so fans of the classic video game Star Wars Bounty Hunter are in for some good news. So the game, which is set between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, is getting remastered for all of the modern consoles. So, and not only that, there was an Easter egg in the original game suggesting that players would be able to unlock Boba Fett after completing the full game, but that feature actually ended up on the cutting room floor. It didn't make it into the final code. And so when it was finally released, that didn't actually work. But in this version, the game maker has enabled the content. And so now it works as long as you cash in on every single bounty in the game, you unlock Boba Fett and you can go back and play through it. So I actually have a trailer here that we can play. And you can see, let's see, how do I
had this game. That's crazy.
Yeah, so here we go.
It's hard.
Lord Tyrannus, our cloners require a host. You must find an ideal specimen. It's among the galaxy's most dangerous mercenaries.
Greetings, Jango Fett. I have a proposition for you.
No, Jango. It's too dangerous even for you.
I am the best. was.
So that's the original or that's the remake?
This is the remake.
It's a trailer for the remake. It's a remastered version, so it's not like completely built for these consoles. It's just a refresh on the original game.
Yeah, it's like
So
a new fresh.
It's going to look a little retro.
But it looked retro. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was on Nintendo 64 back in the day. So it's 64-bit, but they refreshed it to have like it's like they slapped a new coat of paint on it. So the mechanics are going to be the same, I assume.
So if I didn't have that game, although I'm interested in getting this version of it, it looks like, so I'm guessing, so Dooku makes an appearance in here, and it sounds like almost like this is Django's trial. Like if you pass this, you'll be the
pretty much.
Like, is that?
He sets him up on missions, and it's like if you do all this stuff, you'll be our candidate or whatever.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the game is going to be available on all the modern day consoles. So the PlayStation 4 and 5, the Xbox Series X, S, and 1, the Nintendo Switch, and it'll also be available on Steam. So as an extra bonus, PlayStation 5 owners are going to get some extra features with the DualSense controller, with the controller. So you get to use the adaptive triggers for the dual blasters. The comms will come through the speaker on the controller.
Yeah.
And then the light bar, the light that's on the controller serves as a secondary health meter, so you can see your health on the controller. So that's kind of cool.
I love that.
So the game's scheduled to release on August 1st of this year.
Wow.
So my guess, I don't know if there's actually physical media for this. My guess is it'll be a digital download, but
likely.
Okay, so got some Andor season 2 news. So we've got a bit of a rumor this week that Ben Mendelsohn's going to be returning as Orson Krennic alongside other Rogue One characters in season 2. Now, Mendelsohn had actually gone on the record before saying that he hadn't been contacted by anybody about it. But I do know that they've been doing some reshoots lately. So, and I don't know that those were always planned. But to add to the credibility of this, the rumor actually comes from that Krennic appears in the final arc of the season, comes from the director of that arc, Alonso Ruiz Palacios, who slipped and said that he loved the opportunity to work with great actors such as Mendelsohn, Stellan Skarsgård, and Forrest Whitaker. So I think that also implies that we'll be getting Saw Gerrera in there as well. So Ruiz Palacios is one of 3 directors for the final season, alongside Janice Metz, who directed 3 episodes, and Ariel Kleiman, who directed 6 episodes. So those are the 3 directors for season 2. And the star of the show, Diego Luna, has teased that as we progress through the season, we would start to get glimpses and tie-ins into Rogue One. He says, I can tell you Rogue One is coming, so there will be characters in there that you will recognize. There will be cool stuff. For those who love Rogue One, this season is going to be very special, and it's going to be fascinating to go straight to Rogue One after watching the 2nd season, because you will see Rogue One from a different perspective. I promise you that. I can tell you one thing. Tony Gilroy is a fantastic writer, and he created amazing characters that we got to meet in Andor season 1. It's going to be a very rich 2nd season because all those stories matter today. It is a true ensemble piece. It got very complicated in season 1, and everything has to get resolved. Every story matters. So, and Tony Gilroy has also mentioned that Daniel Mays, who played Tivik, which was the guy that Cassian kills at the beginning of Rogue One, like the guy can't climb out. The stormtroopers are coming, and so that guy his character will be making an appearance in the show. So it sounds like what we're going to get is literally right up to, and maybe even a little bit of overlap with the beginning of Rogue One. So, and we've also got confirmation from Gilroy that K2SO will be returning in this season too. So,
yeah,
so we're really getting all the details. So Steven is literally touching everything in my apartment right now.
We can bring out all the theories of Andor. You know? Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him.
So that is actually it for the news.
Oh, smooth, Raimi. Smooth.
But an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
An acolyte kills without a weapon.
We got to do the whole review like this.
Meanwhile,
Acolyte.
he used a weapon. It didn't.
Yes, he used two.
All right, this week's episode review is The Acolyte, Season 1, Episode 5, titled Night. This episode originally aired June 25th, 2024, directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Claire Keichel and Cor Adana, music by Michael Abels. With the Disney Plus description, in a dense jungle, the Jedi are put to a test when they confront a rising darkness. Gentlemen, I mean, this episode, if you didn't like this episode, I mean, do you even Star Wars? This show might not be for you if you didn't like this one. I can tell you, the first, 4 episodes, I was giving it a chance. It didn't fully grab me. It didn't fully pull me in. Man, this episode was, it was some of the best lightsaber fighting that I've seen since, I would say, episode 1. Last Jedi's fight scene in the throne room with Snoke, that was pretty cool. But this was just lightsabers on lightsabers on lightsabers, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anxious to hear what you guys think. Let's start with John. How'd you like this episode?
So there's a lot of stuff I liked about this episode. Obviously, the previous episode ended on the cliffhanger, where this episode picked right back up. Essentially, Kamir, or I guess not at the moment. The stranger is fighting 5 or 6 or 7 Jedi at a time, and the choreography was great. I mean, some parts were sloppy. There were a couple things, like Yor just gets a little tap on the leg. Everyone's getting diced and force pulled, and and he's like a little. So that was kind of weird. But everything else was. Well, I mean, I know they're trying to save him for later, which eventually is no.
Murked. I think Yor eventually got more than a tap on the leg.
He meets his demise, yeah. But I just thought the tap on the leg was a little just give him a kick in the stomach or something. A little tap on. What's a tap? Anyway, Jecki, loved Jecki. Team Jecki all the way. She really held her own against Kamir. And May too, because her and May were going back and forth in Kalnaka's manor in his house, and kicking each other through doors and stuff, and force fighting. I guess no, that sounds weird. But then she basically beats May and goes and fights Kamir, and then obviously she gets she meets her demise as well, which was a bummer because I really liked her. She was part of what Steven was saying, a lot of great choreography and lightsaber action, which we saw from them. What else? The cortosis, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of a big deal. It's like it's not just a deflection. It's not like Beskar. It's like a deactivator. I don't know if it's. I don't know the lore. I know it's from Legends, and it was brought up in the Thrawn novels, but it like deactivates the lightsaber somehow. I don't know if it's through the Kyber.
So it absorbs the energy.
Yeah, it absorbs the electrical energy from a blaster bolt. That's how it was initially conceived. But then, in lore, they figured out that if a lightsaber hits it, it shorts out all the electronics of the lightsaber too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that
So,
in the modern era Thrawn books, in the second one, the one where it's like a flashback kind of a thing, and he meets a young Anakin during the Clone Wars.
right.
They find a battle droid factory where they're making super battle droids out of cortosis.
Wow.
And they're like, if this technology gets out, the Clone Wars is going to change the course of history here. Like, we've got to stop this. And so the whole thing is them shutting down that operation. So.
Wow. Okay, I need to read that. But anyway, super cool. It's cool to see it function. He does these moves where he blocks with one arm and then blocks with his head, and everyone's sabers are shorting out, and he's getting the upper hand. I thought that was really cool. Excited to see more on that, because it looked all cracked, broken. Looks like it's not very strong, but it does that. It has that property to it. And That's it for the most part. I for some reason, I don't know why. It's not just this show. I don't like when twins switch on each other and trick the character. I know it's part of the story, whatever, but it's just like, oh, I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
Not a fan. While the other one's laying there in the dust somewhere.
The cliche twin switcheroo.
Yeah, it is cliche.
It feels like a very Lindsay Lohan. I don't remember what that movie was called when she was little, but it's like it feels very much that that type of gimmick, and it's like okay, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm again giving it a chance. Like I said, like Steven said, the first few episodes didn't really grasp me. But this one brought me back, and again, I love the Jedi, I love the lightsabers, love the fighting, and yeah, more of that, please.
Brian, what'd you think? You're muted.
It's probably just going to be cut and paste for all of our responses. I loved how the last episode ended, how all the Jedi were coming out, and there's like that kind of like nondescript bearded dude with the ponytail, and when he showed up, I'm all, that guy's gonna die like right away. And then this episode opens up, there he is, dead, laying
You
there.
didn't see it happen.
I looked at him and I was like, damn, that could have been me.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're all, I could have been dead.
I could have been a dead Jedi.
Could have been dead Jedi. It did kind of look like you, but which kind of fits in. I said before, just kind of the plot line and the overall feel of this show. Like that, I was like, oh, this is like a horror movie type thing. You're like, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and it's like kind of obvious,
Well, but there were things that weren't obvious. Keep going.
Like
the other people dying.
Oh,
sure. I didn't.
You didn't see that coming. You were like, "Oh, damn! They did that to them."
I didn't expect the Yord horde to get killed off, but I mean, yeah, it was super cool to see that many lightsabers all at once. That's the stuff that entertains me. So, and the fighting, everything, all that was really, really cool. I liked the look of, what's the bad guy's name? He doesn't have a name yet, right?
The stranger.
Like I like the look of him. I thought the sleeveless thing was kind of rad, and the cortosis, which I didn't really know about. You guys educated me on that, and I thought that was really neat. All the different lightsabers, his little dagger that like pops out of the bottom. I thought that was pretty cool. All the force foo. The force foo is entertaining. I love kung fu movies. Reminds me of like Donnie Yen and stuff, which is super cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely this show had me more watching because that action just went and went and went and went and went. It was really cool. But when the action was over, it went back to being the show that it is. So I lost interest at the end. It just, I don't know, the story just seems so obvious. Like I'm watching it going, okay, Saul, what did you do to all the witches at the thing? Okay. Oh,
but is it that obvious though?
I don't think
he killed them.
The stranger is that guy. Oh, okay.
That was, yeah. But really,
I mean,
you think so?
There was some pretty wild theories of who the Sith was going to be, and then it just turns out to be Chimere.
And I said it right away. I was like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Like that, because he was kind of like a bumbly buffoon. Like, it was like, okay, I don't know. It's just like the guy dead at the beginning of this thing, at the beginning of the episode 5, when in episode 4, when you saw him, you're like, that guy's gonna die. So it was a bold move that they did. Jackie was epic, and I was talking
about that one.
I was talking to my buddy today, who's he really likes Star Wars. Oh no, it was Luke. It was Left Coast Adventure. He loves Star Wars. But it was funny. We were talking. He goes, Jackie reminded him of the girl from Die Antwoord. You know that band?
Yeah. Yeah, the haircut, the short bangs.
Yeah, totally. He was like, he's all, every time I see her, I think of Die Antwoord. So
South African group, right?
Yeah, shout out to Luke on that one. But yeah, I mean, her getting murked, but she went out hard, man. She went out big time. Yord got murked probably the way he probably should have been. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean
Wow.
they ripped through all them Jedi, so that was pretty savage.
Is that the first time we've ever seen someone die literally at someone's hands in Star Wars?
Well, Vader choking people.
I was gonna say Vader chokes.
Oh,
yeah.
fair. That's okay. Okay, fair. That was brutal. Like just.
Yeah, didn't
What'd you
expect
think,
it.
Raven?
Same with Jackie. Yeah.
I'm mad that Jackie's gone. Like
Yeah.
I really liked her, and her performance was good. Like she did. I liked her personality as a Padawan and her relationship with Saul. I liked. I mean, she did great. She held her own with all the fight sequences and everything. And then for her to not make it, I'm like, oh man. I didn't hate Yord. I liked Yord. I was not a fan of Yord in the earlier episodes until he had Osha's back in that one scene, and vouched that she wasn't the one who killed anybody. So I think that was the turning point for him. But yeah, I was just surprised to see. Now it was so the stranger or Khmer, whatever we're calling him, he had some conversation with Soul that implied that he knew a little bit more about Soul's past than what we do as the viewers. Like it was like, when are you going to tell her what you did, kind of a thing, talking to like
how would he know?
Well, I don't know. What if
how would he know?
I'm making this up. I do not know this. Like, what if he was there?
At the Coven?
What if they broke him out at the same time that they got Osha and May? Like, what if the Jedi, like, what if he was like a prisoner or something there, or made it seem like he was, and the Jedi broke him out, and then all of a sudden he turned into like the serial killer? Like, what if he was there? What if he's the one that killed all the witches?
That's what I thought. I thought it was him maybe killed all because I can't see a Jedi slaughtering a bunch of a whole coven of witches just cause.
Right. What if Soul's the one who freed him, and then he turned around and like killed everybody that was there? And
maybe like that makes
and then
that
Soul
that,
covered it up
be
because
compelling.
he's kind of the one that let him out, kind of a thing. I don't know.
I mean, didn't the stranger ask him like something about what he did?
Yeah,
or something.
He I think it was like, when are you going to stop lying to Osha? When are you going to tell her what?
We're going to tell her the truth,
who you really are.
And he said at the end of the episode
something like that. I don't remember the wording, but
he told her, "I'll explain." So we'll probably get the
he admitted it.
information.
He admitted there was something coming.
Yeah. So something happened.
Yeah. I like the Cortosis. That was cool. That the fighting, and like he literally like would headbutt the lightsaber and it would turn off. Why?
That was a really cool sequence.
Osha did do something cool too when she took her little pip out and was like, "I love you," and stuck it on the dude's back, and all the bugs went after. I thought that was cool.
She'll get it back. It survived.
Oh yeah, the little
that guy, the little
Basil
guy, he grabbed it. He picked it up.
Right, but is he still there? Because she got left there.
Who knows?
I'm sure he made it to the ship.
He either made it on the ship. We just
he
haven't
was a
seen
squirrely
it yet,
little bugger.
Whatever. They made a point to visually show us that he had Pip's head. It's going to find its way back to Osha.
That's fine. That's fair.
Steven, what did you think?
So I mean, there's just so much that I loved about this episode. You know what? This is the only episode out of the whole season that I watched more than once, more than twice.
Same.
I think I've watched this episode probably 3 times so far since it's aired. I love that they brought in Cortosis. I have a very strong suspicion that by the end of this show, after we see whoever the Sith Master is, I think we're going to see Khmer go off on his own and start the Knights of Ren. The imagery of him with the super cut, swole arms, having Cortosis embedded as a gauntlet on the left arm, having the mask with the long hair. It's so visually similar to Ren that there's, he might not be the Ren that Kylo kills eventually, but maybe he starts his own little side thing where he doesn't want to follow the rule of 2, where he just wants to have, he wants to have all these different knights or acolytes, as he calls it.
We don't know his official name. What if he's Darth Ren or something like that?
But
I mean, but that's like hundreds of years in the past before
Yeah.
the Knights of Ren, right? Like that's a long stretch of
It's like 160 years or something. Yeah.
I get it though, because the helmet. When I see the helmet, that's all I think of.
But
is Knights.
but
Okay.
that's not Ren's helmet. Ren's helmet's different.
No,
Right.
Ren does have
similar
grayish
look.
silver hair in the comics.
We do see him force heal OSHA.
Yeah.
When so for all we know, he could be using dark side force energy to heal himself for an extended amount of time. Stuff that maybe he learned from Plagueis or Tenebris. And if they go that route, that will make me very happy, because that's lore building stuff that will feed into the greater narrative, the greater canon.
Yeah.
The choreography, the fight choreography of this show,
It's really good.
it really was. It was outstanding. I kind of agree with Brian when there was no fights. I kind of fell back into it wasn't really grabbing me. But that being said, I combed through the credits. I did my research. Christopher Clark Cohen, who was the fighting coordinator for Shang-Chi and for The Witcher, was the fight coordinator for this show, for this episode. So clearly, and we've been on different sets, and when there's a fight scene that's happening, whoever's directing the episode kind of not necessarily steps back to the fight coordinator or the fighting director, but there's sort of like a, what would you call it, Remy?
I mean, on the things that we've been there for, literally on the scenes that we've been there for the filming of, where there was a stunt director, that person was the director for those shots. Period. The regular cinematic director, or whatever you want to call them, they took a step back, and they
because it's also a
they
safety
literally
issue.
said, like, when these shots are being filmed, this is the person this is me. So
that's because it's liability. Yeah. Because they
the assistant fighting director was Guillermo Crispo. He did all the fight scenes for Wonder Woman. And then they had a veteran in there, Mark Ginther. She actually did all the fight scenes for Ninja Turtles, Ninja Turtles 2, Power Rangers. So she's been
lots
doing
of action.
So when they had these three collaborating on it, that's how you get scenes of like lightsaber moves that we're going to be talking about for the next decades. Because we literally saw a dark side user, a Sith, stab somebody without even like taking a beat to like savor his kill, takes the saber out, stabs another Jedi, and then just to add insult to injury, force pulls another Jedi to make a Sith kebab,
and then cuts their heads off.
And then cuts their heads off in like one swoop. Like, that's just stuff that's cool, right? That's stuff that we've always wanted to see. And then to Ramey's point, what he was talking about, the hand-to-hand combat, we haven't seen that before in Star Wars to this extent. We always see like lightsaber to lightsaber, blaster, whatever, but we've never seen actual like fist to fist, head around or arm around a head, and then just full on snap it. Like,
nope.
I think that's awesome.
Probably the closest thing we had was Chirrut in Rogue One.
The blind guy?
Yeah. It's Donnie Yen. I mean,
that's true. He did have a
master.
He had a
staff, but he was doing
probably the most
stuff,
qualified.
I said that's just the closest.
Yeah, that's the closest. But I like that they're taking risks. Some of the risks aren't paying off. Some of them are. This one definitely did. And I'm curious to see who the second Sith is, because
there's got to be a master.
Is it really a risk to put lightsaber battles in a Star Wars show?
No, the killing that we saw, we haven't seen that
murder.
Dude, that is like.
I mean, the triple stab was cool. That was more on theme of Star Wars, but graphic, the next snap seemed like whoa. Like, oh,
Right.
I need to go back and rewatch that because I swear I did not see the triple stab thing happen. Like I blinked and there were 3 holes there. I'm like,
yeah, Jackie attacks, and that's where what's his name goes. Yeah, he like pulls the little
pulls the
scarab
second
saber.
out,
You
yeah.
don't
The little dagger, and
you
he
don't
goes,
see him do the stabbing. You just see
you just see
holes
the
come out.
blades just
Yeah.
go through her back, which is brutal. It's
Emily,
brutal.
Emily in the chat reminded me something that I wanted to talk about. One of the biggest reasons that I think that he is Ren of the Knights of Ren is because at the end of the show they play Kylo Ren's theme.
They did.
And we all know that they don't play themes unless there's a connection.
Yep.
So
I actually noticed that and I stopped and rewound it and listened to it a couple of times.
So maybe they are connecting
Yeah, the whole
those dots.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. Like
It's
that.
cool.
Those notes were crystal clear.
So
No
I
okay.
I think that's
We'll see.
great. It's just that's a lot of years of them just being gone. But
And also, you don't see them for the whole entire prequel, OT, and sequel until
hundreds
the
of
end.
years of. I mean, it's cool to have a backstory. I just think it's the wrong time.
Well,
I'd
hey,
like to
the
see
Sith-
how they do it.
the Sith were hiding for a millennia.
Yeah. Like, make it make sense. They're not quite Sith. They're more like dark
The Knights of
fallen
Ren,
Jedi.
According to
they just
Monday.
follow.
Or-
They're like
Glizzy head.
fallen Force users. You know,
Kylo wasn't a Sith either, though, right? So
he wished he was, right? Because Grandpa was.
So we've got
come on, Emily.
we've got 3 episodes left of this season. With this episode coming out, they've released some other press releases or interviews from the cast and the director. Manny Jacinto has said, which has also been confirmed by Leslie Headland, that he is a Sith Lord. Like in the show, it was kind of like ambiguous. He's like, the Jedi might call me Sith, or whatever.
You might call me Sith.
Right. They both confirmed he is a Sith Lord. And Leslie Headland said that by the end of the season, we will see 2 Sith.
So it's going to be a twist. It's going to be a twist. It's not going to be the sisters. They're going to be the heroes. It's going to be one of the Jedi. It's probably be Sol. No, not Sol. Probably be someone else. Indara's probably not dead. She got a little 3-inch blade in her chest. She's aight. You never know.
Or it's Revan.
Oh,
It's Revan. Ha! That'd be in a perfect
Revan
world.
was a Sith, right?
In a perfect world. Well, yeah, technically yes. Yeah. In a perfect world. We'll see.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes,
What?
I'm Echo.
go first.
You go first.
Okay, why aren't Tauntauns good at small talk? Because they don't like icebreakers. Did you know the Tauntauns actually can smell pretty good? It's because they have 4 nostrils.
I mean, it's very logical.
Which vegetable has the best kung fu? Broccoli.
Chop suey. No.
Broccoli. Oh my gosh.
Broccoli.
It took a few seconds to process. It finally hit Steven.
Hi, I'm Cliff. Drop over sometime.
Oof.
This is oof.
This one's for my kid because it always makes him laugh when I tell him. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
To go to KFC.
Is there an echo in here?
Yes,
What?
I'm Echo.
What?
That was so bad.
Is it being delivered for processing? What the?
I don't know. Whenever I say, I could say that to my kid 10 times a day and he just busts up crying, laughing.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
when I put my car in reverse. Yeah, it's not good anyways. I started talking and the music played, and it's not a good joke anyways.
In Steven's defense, he hit the button and he hit the button and it sat there spinning long enough to let you start talking, and it was too late.
It's all good. It was
You
a
can
horrible
talk
joke
over the
anyways.
music. That's what it's for.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, the music is just filler.
Ambiance.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today. If you enjoyed listening, feel free to feed that algorithm and leave a 5-star review on your podcast app. When you do that, put that cake emoji in there too, so we know it's you.
Why not?
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just subscribe down below, and you'll be entered to win an Alpha Ignition helmet of your choice, casted by the Dad Batch and painted by our very own Tech.Bad Batch, Joe Lara.
Boa noite.
John, we still have a giveaway on our Instagram for a Balin's Skull lightsaber.
Someone was asking about that. They're like, "Have you guys done the saber yet?" So no, we haven't. We're gonna do that soon, as far as I know.
I think
next week.
I think it ends on Sunday, the 30th.
Oh, okay. So it's not over yet.
No.
Okay. Because I thought we had somehow
3 more
gone
days,
over it.
2 more days to get in there. It's a free giveaway.
Free lightsaber.
Get in there. Go to the post. Check it out. Do what it says, and you might win.
Are you guys going to draw next week on the show?
Yes,
guess we
we're doing
can.
a live drawing on the show.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
On
All right.
episode 99.
There it is. Yeah.
You can follow me at Stevie.Kicks on Instagram, sometimes X and Threads. Don't forget the TikTok. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you. John?
Alpha Ignition on the socials. You can find me at San Diego Comic-Con. You can find me at Mosh Isley. You can find me at The Bash. You can find me at Kura in a little bit. Oh.
And Brian?
Sith and Ain't Easy. Doom Manufacturing. We have Speed Champ shirts available. Modeled by Joe. John.
They're so comfy. They're so soft.
They are really nice. Aside from the graphic being cool, these are the most comfortable shirts I own.
High quality.
I have 3 of your brand now, and they're very comfy.
We don't mess around.
And Raimi?
You can find me at thedadbatch.com, where you can also find our additional newer show, Off the Rack Rebellion. So, new episodes every Sunday, drop in time for your Monday morning commute. The team is taking this Sunday off, so there's going to be 1 week without an episode here, but new episodes will start right back up the following weekend.
And you can find Joe at tech.badbatch on all the socials. Thank you again, everybody, for listening to episode 98 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 99. And until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly.